Hello and welcome to Zondell, Lands of Discordance, a Dungeons & Dragons 5e campaign. We have some of our players with us again. Last couple of weeks, things just didn't work out, but we've got enough to run a game tonight. So, we will resume where we left off. After dealing with some of the forces, the marrow of the Dismembered Lord, and meeting a couple new allies, the party managed to escape to the Frostheart, realized that they had forgotten the body of Strahd the Alchemist, and Miranda went back for it, saw a lunar predator that ended up dealing a fair bit of damage to some of the Dismembered Lord's troops, as she misdirected them to a different rift, and later upon returning, realized that the lunar predator had followed them, and after its initial landing, which signified its arrival, managed to leave their presence without a trace and being invisible. Only one individual was able to see where it was going, and at the time, chose not to tell anyone. The party, seeing the giant statues of Duchess Gisela and Duke Strahd in the valley that they had been in, the same place where Yolinda and Gisela had been raised, they decided to head the opposite direction and start traveling 100 miles off to Castle Ebonpeak, knowing that whatever had been going on there in the valley was not what was originally planned, with intending for Gisela and the other residents of Ivorab and Castle Ebonpeak to go into the edge of the wandering woods and wait out the possibility of being attacked by the Heart of Darkness or that which the stars rejected, or both together. Something in the time that the party has been in the Shimmer has seemed to occur that has changed plans, and the fact that Strahd's body, piloted, possessed by Strahd the Alchemist, was in that giant statue, indicated to them at least that the amount of time that they spent in the Shimmer may or may not have indicated more time passing in the Frostheart or some other odd temporal shenanigans that at the very least didn't feel right to deal with without more information, more planning. So they have started their journey, taken 18 miles toward Castle Ebonpeak. We resume with them after having taken a full, long rest. Some having discussed things with each other, others having meditated upon certain information that has been gleaned from their travels, and others more or less just trying to rest up, knowing that it is a long walk ahead of them. As you are all waking up, you have whatever supplies that you had intended for traveling into the Shimmer and your normal rations, about a week's worth supply available for you. To the best of your knowledge, it will take about a week to get to Castle Ebonpeak on foot. You may choose to have full ration now, or delay it. What are your plans?
I'm mourning my butterflies.
I was about to say, let me check something here, because I know a couple of us have some things that can extend
Some of you
length
may.
of rations.
I'm going to I'm going to I'm going to I'm gonna mourn my my butterflies. Where I'm like, oh my god.
I'm having so many troubles finding my spells. There we go.
Oh my goodness. Hold somebody. Avery. Oh my goodness. So young. You were beautiful. You had the purple on. Cousin, bro. I'm just in my mind right now. And so I'm going to try to hug the first person near me. I don't know who it is. So I'm leaving it to the DM's discretion. God, I'm trying to hug.
So, based on, because this is right when everyone's probably waking up inside the tiny hut, right?
Yes. Well, everybody except for Linnea and Umbra.
Yeah. So what I was thinking is because I know I had Eon standing in the middle of the hut, partially because of his height and partially because he was standing watch the entire night. He had his front facing towards Lilith, back towards Syl and the one that I can never remember the names of, but the one that's actually really important to the story. The sword.
Yeah, Linda?
Linda, yes. And so I'm assuming then odds are... I mean, in terms of how circles work, I mean, technically speaking, probably one of the closest ones to benevolence would probably be either Nick or Mr. Eon in the middle.
Who's Mr. Eon?
The 8-foot tall metal skeleton with a big ass shield that's about 7 feet tall.
I'm definitely hugging him. It just seems like a benevolence thing to do.
I'm
gonna attempt, obviously, because I'm just now at this point belligerently crying.
I don't think Ian's gonna resist, but he's definitely gonna be confused. You'll just sort of turn and look down. Wait, how tall is benevolence?
We haven't figured this out. I think I'm 6'9".
You're 6'5".
I don't want my height. He's gotta be cooler.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
6'9".
Eon's still looking down at you.
Okay.
Just kind of goes, just stares for a moment.
I have a butterfly in my head. I'm like, look at her. They're so pretty. Wasn't she pretty? Tell me she was pretty. Please.
Beauty is subjective.
I guess you're right. And technically life is too. But like...
My opinion of the species of butterfly does not matter in your perspective.
Okay, friend, it seems like you need a hug. Have you been through life? What's wrong? Who hurt you? You need a hug. Come here. You need a hug. Bring it in. And I'm holding out my hands and I'm moving closer.
I am no longer capable of feeling pain.
But you can feel these big meaty hands. Come on, get in here, buddy. Come on. Come on.
And desist.
What'd you say? I'm sorry. I swear I heard you say cease and desist. Like you want me to die.
I did not say decease. I said desist. It's a very distinct difference in definition.
you're mean.
That is subjective.
No, it's not subjective. I'm trying to give you a hug, and you're like, man, how about you cease and desist? You know what? It's okay. It's fine. I'm sorry. I'm not like this usually. It's the butterflies. They're gone, and they get me upset. I'll forgive you this one time.
Noted. But we'll point out these temperatures are not good for butterflies, are they? Should keep moving.
Say that one more time.
These temperatures are not good for your butterflies. Should probably keep moving.
You're right. They'll die.
Most likely.
Okay. Can we, you look very non-alive like me. I mean, I'm alive, but you're like non-alive like me. So you, can you keep them warm by any chance?
I am made of a special type of metal. I'm currently the same temperature as the world around us. If anything, I will kill the butterflies quicker.
But at least you're smart. I like you, because I'm dumb. But you're smart. So together, we make stupidly smart. Work with me here. And you look pretty. And I kind of like punch him on the shoulder. Durable.
I'm gonna wait. No, that's probably gonna hurt.
I was about to say, like, I shook my hand. Just tongue. Durable. You look durable. So.
Yes.
But I want to give a bit. Can you help me give a burial to my other butterfly friends? Please.
I hear when you will not be able to find it later.
Wait, what about finding it later?
This is a rather remote location.
But they need a burial. I found them in the random. I gotta put them down in the random. Okay? Look, I'm emotional.
And dig a hole.
I hope you feel my face.
How would I feel your face? I am not touching you.
Whatever. And I keep it stepping.
Robo Boy about to get those hands.
Robo Boy just confused at this point. He's like, man, I'm kind of glad I wasn't a stone person, because apparently they got their own kinds of issues.
Yo, can there be any way low-key, a birdie told me he low-key thought this? Because I just want to see how this would turn out. Like,
do you have skills in hacking? No, I'm joking.
No, I don't know. I have a good knack for telling when somebody's talking about me. So like, usually people are talking about me. I'll be like, my ears are burning right now. Cause I think it's really because I just assume everybody's talking about me, which makes sense.
Hey, maybe you should just ask him what he's thinking.
Hey, big guy, and I kind of like nudge him hard this time. What's yeah, You laughing at my dead butterfly friends because I want to bury them in a random spot?
I am not laughing. I am questioning your devotion to their memory with your lack of thinking.
Lack of can you believe this lack of who is this guy? Who hired these people? Who hired them?
I have not been hired.
Well, then you should be. Well, can we look? You're hired. Okay, everybody got that? Okay, now you're fired. You're fired. You're double fired. You're more fired than fired.
At this point, Ian's just gonna like just look down again, sigh, and then just keep walking again. At this point, Lilith would probably look back and just kind of be like watching the conversation for a second, be like, "Hey, don't mind the big metal guy. He's of a different time, to say the least, when it comes to certain things. He thinks in how do I put this? What are the words I'm looking for here? He thinks different than a lot of people, like everyone, really. If I'm being perfectly honest,
Wait,
he thinks real different.
and then I just look up and be, how long you been there?
Lilith's walking probably. Is the group walking right now? Or are we still?
Right now, everybody's still waking up, and then these two have gotten up, and Benevolence has tried hugging, and all this is going on.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much everybody except for Umbra and Linnea is waking up and seeing this.
Okay. I was gonna say, so Lilith would have been sleeping basically right at Eon's feet, essentially. Just about. So that's where she would have kind of like sat up and kind of seen what's going on, just slightly confused.
What is she?
She is a decently short human ranger.
Okay.
Appears human.
Okay.
Yes.
Because
with quite long blonde hair.
Okay. Like, your accent, it's funny. Almost reminds me of my dwarves I used to guard the castle for. Wasn't really a castle, it was an underground, like, living place, but the dwarves are pretty cool. Praise be to Ryrix.
Say that one more time? What was it that you were
I think
describing?
it's weird. Castle, living quarter underground. Oh my god. I keep
At this point, Eon would kind of turn his head in curiosity and just kind of stare for a moment and say, define underground location.
It was located underground. I don't know how else to... I'm not talking to you, betrayer of butterflies. Okay? I don't know where to put them. I just met them. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to her. Now, if you want to help with my butterflies, then I'll talk to you. But until then, Mr. Hard Skeleton, I don't know, beep boop, beep boop. You remind me of Buster. I hated Buster. And I just storm off.
Hey, luck with that, because we're all
Where are
kind
you
of...
going in this small area?
I
Yeah,
storm
I was
off to
about
the
to
other
say.
side.
Bro, Eon's in the middle. There's a very minimal distance you can get away from him.
All for dramatic effect. I just look at him. I know I didn't go anywhere, but I'm still not talking to you.
Lilith kind of, again, just goes, okay, I can explain why he's asking about that one, at least. So, basically, the whole reason how we got to traveling with you fellas here is, basically, some of Eon's higher-ups here a signal to one of their old resting sites, and, well, basically the way they look and whatnot would kind of match the same base description you just gave, and he's very much so a man of getting things done.
He's still a poo-poo head.
I guess that defines man differently than normal, but...
He's a poo-poo head. He's a poo-poo head, and I don't like him.
Just wait for someone else to interject and just telling everyone to shut the fuck up. Someone like, yo, can you two just stop fighting already? We're stuck in like a 10-foot by or a 10-foot dome right now. Like, bro.
So Sill's just gonna be watching all of this and just minding her business.
At this point, though, we're not even going to talk about what happened with the whole Miranda Charming Darwin thing, but Lilith's going to go ahead and start packing up her stuff, though, her cot and whatnot that she had kind of gotten out of her pack. I'm waiting to see what Arendelle says about all that.
Arendelle.
About what?
About all the back and forth between Benevolence and Aeon and Lilith.
That and the whole Miranda charming Darwin thing, because I feel like there's a joke to be made with how they wake up.
Miranda charmed Darwin?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because of a miscommunication in a conversation about how love works.
Ooh, somebody's getting cheeks tonight. So wait, because my character knew about this, with me being mad, I want to focus on something else. Am I allowed to focus on this, or because I just found out about it, you're not gonna let me?
I mean, you were there, even though out of character you didn't know.
All right,
That's just because you weren't in this last session. So
right. So who's clapping whose cheeks? That's what I'm looking. I just look. I just see. I just look at him. Did
I'll
y'all?
let you describe, because I don't. We never RP'd what actually ended up happening between Brenda and Darwin with that.
I have a comment at this point. I'm just kind of waking up.
So, one thing about that is that as that all went on and everybody was in the dome, whatever happened, pretty much everybody in the dome knows about. So,
Oh my.
except for Umbra and Linnea, because they were in the tower that Umbra made. Pretty much everybody else knows. So
The thing I will point out is
depending on
Darwin
what-
has good
what
merit.
Miranda would, consider restraint or none, depending on, circumstances. And whether
Darwin
or not
typically
Darwin
has
would
good-
be, influenced by those decisions.
Yeah, because Darwin typically has good manners, but he also was charmed. So
Oh, he clapped them cheeks, Bucko.
at minimum, I feel at minimum they kept each other warm.
He pancaked her. He flipped her around, slapped a biscuit on it and all of it, drizzled some syrup, just dirty, just dirty. He gave her the Dickens. That's what he did. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I say it. Ain't nobody else gonna say it. I'll say it. He gave her them hands. Gave her them good hands.
I'm still waking up at this point, and he just kind of like opens it up. He's drowsy, like, what?
Give me some, brother. Give me some. Oh yeah. Tell me, how was it?
Darwin's just kind of confused and just kind of reaches up because he's still like in that period of the brain's not fully on. It's like,
Oh,
I
she
missed
did you
something.
she did you like that? Oh, she made her brother forget. Ooh, she got the.
What?
Oh, you don't. Do you not know what I'm? Hold up.
I feel like I've missed a portion of this conversation.
Hey man, I just looked at whoever else is awake. Hey man, y'all, didn't they? You know the.
No.
Of those awake,
I like-
Aeon, I'm guessing, probably didn't care.
No.
Lilith, maybe. Yolinda is more or less packing up things. Brawl is still holding the sword and shadowy stuff flaring out from it a little bit. Pointed in the direction of Castle Ebonpeak.
I'd also like to imagine just the giggling Arundel was doing with Miranda. Just the entire reaction to that.
If Miranda's awake, then I'm just Miranda, quick question. Didn't you give this man the quite the night of his life, as some people would say?
What are you talking about?
Did you clap his cheeks? Had sex with him, made him feel good, all the above. Am I the only one who's not getting the why everyone's playing dumb?
You know what? Sil's not even gonna bother replying to that. She's gonna eat her breakfast, which is some ration.
Did you say
And look at her
ramen?
bag. Rations.
Oh.
And look through her bag to see if she packed her coat. I'm pretty sure she did. Boots with hidden blades, throwing knives, shield. Shield?
When did Sil have a shield? What?
A +1 maul?
Sil's got a
Oh,
few
this
things that
is-
she just doesn't
This is
use.
from, what's his face? Dubs. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're my new master. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a night. What?
That's a what?
You want me to be your master?
Oh yeah, you killed my master, which means you, therefore, with the exchange a master program. No. I don't want you to be my master. You kind of need to be my master. Who else is gonna teach me?
I'll teach you how to fight.
Don't think about sending me off to my death.
Negative.
At this point, Lilith's gonna start getting herself some breakfast ready, and Darwin's gonna start like looking around for his stuff. And
I'm
probably trying to
very-
get some food ready.
I'm burying my people. My butterflies.
Saying burying your people implies that benevolence is also secretly a butterfly.
Yeah.
We don't know. We're
I am
neither
the
gonna
stone
confirm.
fly.
We are neither gonna confirm nor deny that.
Well, I mean, caterpillars go into chrysalises and become butterflies, and maybe if a butterfly lives long enough, who knows? I love how nobody said anything about that.
Maybe I vibed with them because they had wings like me and they were
Pack her
nice.
winter gear.
Okay.
Yeah, Sil did not pack her winter gear. She just left it in the castle. So what are we gonna do now? Head over to the Castle Ebonpeak or head over to Yolinda's parents' castle?
Well, the goal was to find Strahd, was it not?
Yes.
And odds are he's going to be off at the castle, ain't he?
Yes. that's 3 for going to Ebonpeak.
I'm fine with whatever gets decided upon, but we did start heading in this direction to try and figure out when we get there what we can do. But it's potentially going to be a rough fight when we get there if the two corruptive forces we're aware of are still there. Plus, who knows whatever else may have happened that drove them to leave the area for all of the guards and staff and guests and such who were in Castle Ebonpeak when we left, who were supposed to go to the Wandering Woods. But, right now, we have, I don't know how much snow on top of the dome. And I'm sure Umbra and Linnell are perfectly fine in their tower, but I'm not certain until we get out of here which direction that we'll be heading, since we are in the middle of the snowfields. Hopefully we can still see the mountains from where we left to orient ourselves, but I was ready to finish packing up and burst the dome.
Do we really need to bring those two along?
So why do you hate everyone? Except me now, because I'm your new favorite student, and also your only student.
That doesn't make you my favorite.
Yeah, it does. I'm your only one. That means I'm your worst, your best, your favorite, and your smartest, and your dumbest, and your ugliest, and your most beautiful. All at the same time. You're welcome.
You're not wrong.
I know that was a joke towards my dumbness. I'm not dumb, but I'm the in-between. I would say I'm average. What did you say? My, I always forget his name, and he gets mad at me every time I forget it. Like, actually, in
Kale?
character. Nope. My short friend that carried me across a cavern.
Darwin.
Yes. I always want to call him
I sat
Dog.
there saying Darwin for so long and then realized I was muted.
Yeah, you're just like,
You're
Darwin,
right.
Darwin.
No, literally, that's what I was just like. Oh, the one guy was like, Darwin. Darwin.
Yo, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Nobody understands the words that come out of
Darwin
your
the
mouth.
dwarf. There you go. Just gotta remember, he's always Darwinning.
You
Alright,
really
so
made that
we're
movie.
kicking him out, right? Since you have other two characters here? Okay.
No, I mean, you gotta do the whole Donner Party.
What?
Those boots were pretty nice. So let's keeping our eyes on those boots of yours. Alright.
Dwarf stuff, but makes for good jerky.
Yeah.
Okay, so after everybody has finished gathering up their things, which of you are choosing to use your rations or something else, or both?
Miranda will use a ration.
Darwin and Lilith are eating rations as well.
Syl is eating her ration. And Umbra. What did I do? I made it the bathroom and a bedroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. She's gonna eat rations.
Okay. Alright. So, after everybody has gathered up their things, as the dome itself, the spell ends, the dome of snow on top of it still remains from having layer and layer and layer of snow having pressed down upon it.
Oh, so it's like an igloo.
Yes.
Easiest igloo we've ever made.
I think it's the first one we've ever made.
As
Debatable. Did you never have a childhood?
Yolinda is looking around a moment to figure out which way to go, Rawl lifts up his sword as he stands and cuts into the snow. The moment that he does, there is a loud rushing sound of fierce wind outside that starts to come through. Not into the dome, but passing by, and the sound is quite audible and shaking the dome as it starts to slowly form small cracks from having the structural integrity compromised.
Who did this?
Rawl stuck his sword into part of the snow.
So it's a 10-foot dome. It's like 10 feet from side to side. Darwin's shield is 7, or not Darwin, Eon's shield is 7 foot.
10 feet from side to side?
From from opposite edges of the circumference.
So the diameter.
Yes, the diameter is 10 feet. I know what I said. But
It's a circle, it has no side.
Technically, it has infinite sides. And it also
Yeah,
has an
see?
inside and an outside.
One side.
that's
Regardless, from sticking his sword into it, the blade seems to sink all the way into the snow when he did that, and then pulled it back. It does appear to be at least forearm length, if not more, thick.
Is it soft snow or hard snow?
At least the part that is around the dome seems to be harder. It is not ice, but it is harder. There are cracks that are forming, though. Otherwise, it would just fluff and fall down.
Jones just gonna kind of raise his shield up to the roof and just point towards the hole. Because basically he can just hold up the ice dome himself and kind of keep it off people as they kind of push a way out through that hole he's kind of cut.
Okay.
So we're headed out now.
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Off to see the wonderful Count of Strahd.
Ooh, my
So-
boy is good.
He'd be a duke now.
Gosh, stop ruining my joke.
As the hole is starting to widen from different people working on it, who is going to exit it first?
Can we roll initiative for that?
Oh no, I was about to say I'm just gonna nudge the big guy. Go ahead, tough guy. Why don't you go first?
John's gonna kind of look over and just go, I am holding up the dome. That is unwise, as per usual.
Still's gonna go outside of the dome first. Fuck it.
Usual. Per usual. Mm.
We're starting a bad trend. The good news is you can only go up from here.
Big
Is that a
metal
challenge?
son of a bitch.
Is that a challenge for us to
Why I oughta. So imagine like you know like the old school like cartoon like rolling up the sleeve quote unquote thing, even though there might not be a sleeve, because they're not wearing clothes. Clothes. Wow, English is hard right now. Clothes. Yes, thank you. English hard.
But languages are soft.
Have you heard of German?
Well,
I
point.
hope you feel
Russian.
my face.
What does that mean?
Just feel my face. Like feel someone burning a hole into your soul.
You
By
can look
mean?
at his face.
Yeah, feel my face. Like just feel my. Never mind. Moving on. So did you just tell him to feel your face?
Yeah, like what?
Feel my like it's a. Oh man, I thought it was a more popular term than that, and you guys, a
I
bunch
do
of other
not
people.
understand your colloquialism.
So,
Is that what all the kids are saying these days? Yeah.
as you are going outside, I need you to make 3 checks for me.
Awesome.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll ace all of them.
First,
I will not.
I need you to make a perception check.
Oh boy.
Awesome. Is it dim light? Or what kind of perception? Sight, smell, hearing?
Just general.
Okay. Ha. Let's go with her passive perception of 24.
Okay. You can see the curvature of the dome, even as the ground is kind of more of a lump once you climb out of it. You can't really see more than a good 15 feet away from it. I need you to make a survival check.
Oh, but...
Everyone making these checks, or?
Everybody else is still in the dome.
14.
Okay.
And the last check.
Alright, and the last check will be a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. So like, I was low key having Discord issues for like 5 whole minutes. What was like it was weird. I was still in the party, but it wasn't allowing me to like speak or really hear. So I heard dexterity was the last one. What were the first 2?
First was perception. She can't see more than 15 feet away, and it looks like the snow outside of the dome just kind of makes it a little bump in the middle of a lot of snow that had fallen down.
Oh, we don't all have to make it.
No, she's the only one who's gone outside the dome so far.
Right, I didn't make the dumb move first.
Is it
right,
a magic spell?
It is not.
It's a 21.
Okay. You are blown 9 feet to your side, sliding along the snow, powder and harder snow underneath it in layers, from the force of the wind that is blowing. but manage to stay upright and not thrown sliding and skidding.
So are we climbing up and out of the dome, or are we just going straight through the snow?
It is up and out of the dome to get to the surface. There's been heavy blizzard that has been blowing while you have all been asleep.
And it's still blowing, apparently.
Yes. Soliloquy.
That's nice. Yo.
You have a temporary reduction
Oh no.
of 10 from your HP.
Oh no.
That is minus 10 from your max HP. And as you are starting to get frostbitten, it feels as though your perception and self-healing seems to be starting to shut down.
Hey, John.
Does Lilith see this happen to a random individual? Like seeing them get blown aside and all that jazz.
You probably saw her get blown aside. Like she got up there, took a couple looks around, and ended up getting
Oh my
back to the side.
Yeah. Bro, that sound made that entire joke. It was the
Yeah,
sound
that
that
was
did it
me
for me.
moving my arm far enough that it just tapped my mic and slid it over.
Oh my god, that was
I
hilarious.
mean, that's the effect.
Dude,
Lilith's just gonna
that,
call out and just be like, "Hey, you all right up there?"
that was hilarious. I'm sorry. I almost died laughing just now, and I really had... Oh, I'm so glad I muted myself, because wow, that was an ugly snort I just did. So glad nobody caught that. Yeah.
But Lilith's gonna go ahead and call out and be like, "Hey, you all right up there?"
Can she still go try to make her way back?
You may certainly do that. You have enough movement that you can get back to it, but it is sort of scrambling. It's essentially difficult terrain as you are trying to move in it.
Okay. Yeah, she'll make her way back, pop her head in, and be like, "It's totally peachy up here," and then slide into the hole again.
It's like she slides in, literally half covered in ice already, like the freaking Saw trap from like the 4th movie.
She's not quite looking like a blueberry like she did before a while back, but there's a little hint of that tint.
It's really blowing out there. May want to wait it out for a little bit.
Arn's gonna be like, or alternative solution. We're trying to go up over the top. Wind's not gonna blow through the snow. What if we do a little bit of the Darwin dig? I've got some good old handy dandy bolts. If we just kind of dug a tunnel through the snow in the direction we need to go.
Go for it. More power to you, dwarf.
The nice thing we know is that we don't got to worry about it starting fires because it only starts a fire if it's a flammable object.
Okay.
And snow is not flammable.
Umbra,
Yo.
I need you to make a perception check at disadvantage.
Well, she already has advantage on them, so it'd be a straight hit.
Okay.
18.
Okay. As you eat and talk briefly with Linnell, getting ready to go and join the others, your tower itself, magic as it is, deadens some of the sound of what has perspired outside. When you go to open up the door on the ground floor, it does not open, it doesn't budge, with the sheer amount of snow in the way and pressing into the joint. You have to jerk it a bit even to get it to go inward, with it being hinged so that it is capable of, one way or the other with your design. You do have, with it being a tower, way to get higher up and on looking out. The dome that you had seen them set up the night before appears to have vanished, save for what looks to be almost a person-sized gopher hole that is dug out of part of the snow.
Alright. It's still, she can tell that it's a blizzard's going on, right?
Oh yeah, you can see that you can barely see to the ground, even with the fact that your tower is kind of blocking it a little bit for you to get line of sight. You barely can even see the hole.
Guess we're not leaving until the storm passes. She's gonna go tell Linnell that there's a storm going on and it's pretty rough out there. And she can see the dome of snow where a person looked like they came out of, but they went back inside.
Well, you can see to where the hole is. You can't really see if there's any tracks that lead away or not from where you're at.
Okay.
Okay. So, as you are staying in the tower, the others in the dome are figuring out tunneling as per Darwin's offered plan. What are you using to tunnel, Darwin?
The cantrip Firebolt.
Okay. One moment. Alright. So on the first use of your spell, you make it about 5 feet into the snow. As it warps and compresses and melts the snow for the beginning of your tunnel, the heat is starting to slightly melt some of the igloo dome that has formed.
Oh, easy secondary solution. Bits that we don't want to melt. Ray of Frost cantrip on it.
Okay. So you're going to alternate the two.
Essentially, yes.
Alright.
Which hopefully will also make the ice stronger, since there'll be more material frozen together as it melts like that. And probably first we'll need to make sure we're going in the direction to pick up the tube in the tower.
Okay.
Especially since they haven't yet come to us, and if we're having trouble, I guarantee the actual solid buildings probably having a bit of trouble as well. They built it like on ground level, and if the snow's completely risen up over the dome almost, that put it up over the first floor or something like that.
Alright.
Yep.
So,
It's a 20-foot tower, so she'd be able to look.
as Siliqui had popped up and was not able to see the tower from her position, are you wanting to surface or guess toward where you think you remembered it?
Darwin's gonna ask around to see if anyone remembers which direction it was in.
Which direction the tower was in?
Yes.
Why are you going to the tower?
Because we need to group up with the others, because they probably can't see us right now.
Of those who are NPCs in there, Yolanda, and those who are not here player-wise, nobody rolled over a So I guess it's to those who are actually in game today.
Gee, if only
Ooh, you know
someone
what?
could pay attention.
Actually, I'm just gonna point out I did not move from my spot the entire night. I stayed facing the same direction. If you remember from what direction I was facing to where the tower was, that is the direction. Eon basically has not moved from his spot since he was using his shield to kind of hold up part of the roof.
Okay. So, I will say that will give advantage on a intelligence check.
Oh, intelligence. Well, Eon will figure it out himself then.
Okay.
Does a 21 do it?
Yes.
Nice. Eon's like, actually, I remember the direction we need to go myself. And he's just going to point with his sword hand off towards the direction of the tower.
Okay.
And what direction is that?
That direction.
East?
Direction I'm pointing.
East.
Alright. So, as you are using Fireball to slowly make your way to the tower, using Ray of Frost to reinforce the tunnel as you are making it, there is a sound that seems to come up over the sound of the blizzard.
Shit.
And Rawl's sword pulsates. Flicker of purple and red and this black shadow twisting around and within it. When it is pointed in the direction that you all had been traveling before, toward Castle Ebonpeak. Umbra.
Yes.
Go ahead and make a straight perception check.
17.
Okay. Even though the tower dulls the sound of the blizzard outside until you get up high enough to get to a window and look out, you can faintly hear a roaring that still is heard despite that deadening.
Oh boy.
seems to be coming past where the dome was.
Oh, so it's not the storm, it's
It's something over the
thing.
storm that you can hear it even within the tower.
Oh, great. Can she make a nature check?
I will say with disadvantage.
How? So that's an 7 plus 5, 12.
To the best of your knowledge, it does sound like a creature of some kind. You're not sure what, but usually anything that makes a sound that loud is probably something with a fairly big set of lungs. It's not a high-pitched sound. It is a loud sound, which usually requires a lot of air. That much air typically means a larger type of creature. Not entirely certain what. However, you can at least discern the direction that it seems to be coming from.
It's the direction we did go.
It does appear to be somewhat in that direction, not necessarily straight toward it. You may
Fantastic.
look out a window or go to the top of your tower if you wish to try and discern anything more.
The top of... You mean outside in the storm?
Well, like, lift up the trapdoor, look outside, and shut it, kind of thing.
It says that the only trapdoor is between the floors, not onto the roof.
You can go to a window and look out as well if you choose to.
Alright. Sure, we'll look out the window.
Okay.
Going to invest in making a spyglass as soon as possible.
Alright. Despite how heavy the blizzard is and how white everything looks, in the distance you see something that at first looks a bit pink, then a little darker, and seems to flicker a bit more red and black. And you realize the pink was simply just as much snow as there was that was filtering it. But even as far away as this thing is that seems to be heading in your general direction, it easily stands high enough to reach its head up toward the third floor of your tower, considering the first one is buried in snow. Whatever it is.
I'm sure it's a big, friendly, cuddly creature. So anyways, she's gonna go tell Linnell the situation.
Well, we're sort of sitting ducks in here. And if we go out into the storm, then we sort of don't have much to hide behind.
At least the tower will protect us a little bit. Should probably also find a way to tell the others.
Meanwhile, the Dome crew is playing Dwarf Fortress, digging a tunnel all the way up to the tower.
Slowly, bit by bit, Darwin's firebolting is making progress, but the ground is rumbling and the roaring is getting closer.
Hey, anybody got a way to speed this up? Think we might be running out of time here, eh?
What if other people dig?
Multiple firebolts.
No one has a shovel.
I mean, he's firing a firebolt that's taking out a 5-foot area. I think a shovel in this particular case would probably go a little bit slower.
Yeah, that's nice.
Hold up. Just had an idea. Do any of you have a red dragon scale on you?
Oh yeah, we've killed tons of red dragons.
Seriously?
Sarcasm.
Sarcasm.
Seriously though. One.
No.
Can't say that I have.
So, Scorching Ray is like 3 firebolts at once, right?
It's more or less equivalent. It's a little bit more. But in terms of...
One Scorching Ray would melt the same amount of snow as a firebolt?
Yeah.
Okay. And change it up then. Darwin's gonna cast a... next thing he's gonna do is cast a 2nd level Scorching Ray. That way at least we get like a 15-foot distance into the snow.
Okay. As you cast it, you get a longer shaft further forward, and it starts to sag at the top.
Freezing Ray. Ray of Frost. Freezing Ray is I mean, technically same thing, but Ray of Frost. Along that top is kind of the cantrip bonus action thingy there.
Okay.
Just to keep it kind of frozen along the top for him to keep them through underneath.
Alright. Aeon. Your
Yes.
shield has chunks of the snow above cracking and falling down upon it as the ground rumbles more. There is, coming through the snow, not directly above, but a distance, a faint red glow that is starting to come through the diffusing layers.
Darwin points to the tunnel, since... Have people been following Darwin so far?
Yes. I would say
how far have we gotten into
unless
that?
some have chosen not to.
About how far has that tunnel gotten?
Well, you had first started the one tunnel before you switched over. So I would say that it's probably gotten about 30 feet.
Okay.
How far was the tower away from us?
It was a good, like, 50, 60 feet, so... I remember I'm going a little bit away, but not too far.
Mm-hmm.
Micah,
Yes.
is Miranda affected by the cold as a lycanthrope?
She can be. I would say that in terms of some of the checks and such, the survival check may be a little easier in wolf form or in half form, but in her present form it isn't going to change. It's just that when she shifts, then she's got the extra layers of fur.
I mean, I suppose if they're staying close enough to Darwin, though, with the amount of fire he's putting out, I mean, it's probably warming up the tunnel a little bit, at least.
Yes. Until you use the freezing ray, and then it cools, and then you use it to fire again.
Yeah.
It's kind of an antipode situation where if it were for a longer period of time, you'd probably be having them starting to faint. But it's just for short little bursts, so...
Yeah. But so, Jan's gonna point to the tunnel for everyone that hasn't already started going through and just says, go. And he's just gonna stand there and keep an eye on the direction of the big red thingy that's glowing currently.
Okay. All right. And as Darwin uses a bit of the frost, to freeze the tunnel again. What are you using for your next stretch further along?
I'll tell you what, because you've got like another 20 feet to go, right?
Possibly 20, 30.
Oh my god, sorry.
Let's see here. We're gonna go ahead then. A third level scorching ray, because that'll give me 4 bolts to toss.
Okay.
So that way we could go about 20 feet with that one. And then be able to use the ray of frost again and do freeze along the top.
Okay. So, as you get another 20 feet further along, you can still see snow up ahead of you. Aeon. The section of snow that the dome has over it starts breaking off in smaller and smaller chunks, and you can even see it starting to melt on the edges around you as the snow from the direction that Castle Ebonpeak seemed to be toward is glowing from light that is coming from outside. You can see it flickering at times where it turns back white, but then it's strong red and darker and then fades. Through the snow, you can definitely make out the shape of something huge outside. And there is a bellowing roar. I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
I rolled a 7.
Good job, Big Stone Man. Lilith is at a 17.
You
15 for
suck.
Miranda.
Oh, does
Darwin
anybody
is at a 14.
Does anybody have anything that could make it where I could just like re-roll? Oh my god.
Umbra
Leon can
rolled,
scream in your face and make you scared of something else.
Umbra rolled a nat 1 plus 2.
Is this
And Syl has a 15.
a fear or a charm?
It is not.
16.
And that is a dirty 20 for Eon. Okay.
Ain't scared of shit.
I mean, I would hope not. That's like half of their gimmick. Actually, he's all living construct. Can he even get feared?
Constructs typically cannot, unless it is something that is not mentioned in their race. It kind of depends. Warforged, it specifically mentions it. Construct as a creature type, typically it mentions it in each stat block, but not always.
Okay.
So that would be something more for figuring out later. But regardless, this is not a frightening effect.
Hmm.
Benevolence, Umbra, and Syl all take 36 thunder damage. Everyone else takes half.
Huh?
Run that number by me one more time.
36 thunder damage.
I thought that's what you said.
Yikes.
That's-
The ground that the tower is on is wobbling. The tunnel itself is shaking. Pieces of the dome collapse on top of Aeon's shield, and the tunnel itself starts to have chunks fall off of the ceiling. As everybody except Aeon is either inside the tower or in the tunnel, Aeon is the first to see as this large black-furred thing that has this constant fire coursing around its body, out of its pores and through its fur and quills, glowing white eyes, 2 horns pointing up and curved, and what appears to be the belly of the hottest furnace of dwarven make within its mouth as it opens up and gave out that roar. There's a huffing sound as it slowly is lowering its head and looking at the hole that has been uncovered.
Darwin can see this fellow, right?
Darwin is at the head of the tunnel. Darwin can see the glow behind him.
Or, I mean, not Darwin, Eon.
Eon can, yes. Eon is the only one right now who is seeing it.
Darwin's going to, I keep on saying Darwin. Eon's going to start falling into the tunnel, pointing his shield towards the target. But with his free hand, he's going to prep his tachyon arrow to fire from the wrist. Mutter of dust, ashes. He will fire. The general hope is because it's tachyon arrow is like a small projectile type. He's basically firing a slug of metal from his wrist. So the general hope is that they're not going to be able to tell where it comes from, but it might be a bit of a deterrent. Let's see here. And for the roll, we get. This is the first time I'm using this fucking tachyon arrow thing, and I just got a fucking nat 20.
Okay.
Alright. Okay. What's funny is it would have even crit on a 19, actually, now I think about it. Because of the fighter. Or actually, no, that's melee weapons only, I think. But. Alright. So, Dust and Ashes objective means an extra dice for using tachyon arrows or gauntlets of fire. Then double that. So that's. Oh, good lord. Alright. So, I don't physically. Wait. I feel like I'm doing the math wrong here. No, wait, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Weapon attacks, all weapon attacks. Not just melee.
Okay, so it is all weapon. Okay, well, it's fine because I rolled the 20 anyways, but the fact that I can get crit on 19 is nice. Okay. I'm gonna move my stuff out of the way because these dice are gonna fall off if I. Okay. Time for some quick math.
That shake was quick, brother. That was that shake was.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's so many. It's like it doesn't matter. They're gonna ping pong off of each other. Let's see here. So that's that, and that is that. Okay, that is 46 damage.
Okay.
This is what it's like to play a fighter.
Just rolling and doing damage. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I
Okay.
used to playing spellcasters so much.
Just beat the brakes off somebody real quick.
All right. As you have backed up toward the tunnel with your shield and fired this, I'm going to ask everybody to roll initiative.
Oh boy. Am I D20? It's dark. Yes, it is. Okay.
Miranda has a 22.
All right. All right. Got a 19. Let's go. Let's go. Mikey, you're gonna be mad at me. Something just hit me. I never did my level up. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I just Oh, alright, let's go.
Darwin's gonna be using his what's it called? The what is that ability thing for the time stuff?
Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack.
No, the time skip. So I'm going to be rolling 2 die results for initiative, and since it's once per long rest, I'm gonna act on both results in the first round. And I'm just gonna type it all out and send it in the channel to make it easier to keep track. My dice is petered down after that nat 20 because now it's getting nothing but under 10. Used up all my luck on that one.
All right.
This
what
is
did you
the
get?
way.
I gotta. Where did I put? Shit! Did I not calculate initiative for Jan? Initiative is just dexterity, right?
Unless you have a feat. Alert, I think.
Yes, alert +5.
No, he does not have that. So it would just be dexterity. Okay.
Yep. Dex mod.
Okay.
Anything that you can add, like if you have Bardic Inspiration or anything that boosts an ability check, initiative counts, such as Jack of all trades.
Okay, he does not have that either. So yeah, it's going to be just the +2 to what that roll was. I'm gonna write that down here real quick before I forget. Legit. Okay. I think that D20 cursed my or that roll of 20 cursed my dice because every single one of those rolls, not including bonuses, was under 10.
Okay.
There you go. I just
Well, you certainly have
yeah.
your turns right up against each other.
Very confused with this dice at the moment. How it can go from a nat 20 to madness, I guess.
Law of
Statistics.
averages.
All right. So, on highest initiative, Olivrath the Foul will make its first attack.
Yay.
Oh, so it was able to spot us?
You just fired an arrow at it. As
The
it was
thing
looking
doesn't
right
look
at you.
like a... Okay, so it could see on. Okay, that was the thing I was wondering
It was
about.
looking right into the hole that it had uncovered, and you fired an arrow at it.
Yo, that was freaky. He said, "Did it see where we were hiding?"
Yeah, no,
You
no. 'cause
shot
I
an
thought-
arrow at it.
I didn't realize he said he was looking into the hole. I thought he said he was looking at the hole,
that's
like he was still a distance away.
Brother,
Just
either way,
looking at it.
that's hilarious as shit. Cause I was like,
The
I
good news
think
is
he's
I started off combat with 46 damage, okay? And that's not even comparing to the pain that's about to come his way from all of us.
Ooh,
Like,
tell him again. Ooh, tell him he ain't got
Okay.
no nipples. Go ahead.
So,
Let's go.
it opens its mouth wide, and there's this black bubbling that comes up in the middle of this flame, and it lobs a globule of tar. I need everybody except for Darwin, as they are the furthest away, to make a dexterity saving throw.
well, I know Lilith's fine. And there's Lilith with a 24.
Oh, you got a 20. That's cute. I got a 13.
Miranda got a 14.
And then Eon's probably not going to get as lucky.
Is this an effect?
11 for Eon.
$24 for Syl, 8 for Umbra.
Umbra and Linnea won't need to worry about it. They're in the
Oh, good.
I forgot to exclude them just because I didn't mention the fact that they were not there. double checking in terms of the others. Fennec passes. Ellen passes. Yolinda fails.
Oh.
Benevolence, what was yours?
19.
Okay.
I swear to God, if I'm at the bottom of the leaderboard still, I'm gonna be mad.
Alright. So, as this black mass, bubbling and roiling as it is, spit down the length of the tunnel, impacts with the shield and globs around it going down the tunnel, striking multiple people. Everybody who had less than 18 takes 15 bludgeoning and 15 acid damage and becomes tarred.
Becomes tarred?
Yes. Becomes tarred.
Oh.
Everybody who has 18 or higher takes half damage and is not tarred.
Is Darwin included in that because he was far away?
No.
Okay.
All right, hashtag not being tar.
Well,
The issue is Lilith's already almost to half health.
Will Seal's invasion come into play where she doesn't take any damage?
What was the total of that damage?
Miranda reflex for half.
It is 15 acid and 15 bludgeoning for with a failure. Kale and the others who passed take half of that. Yes, you would be able to use your cunning action and such.
Alright. So she'll take no damage and just dodge it like a limbo bar.
Okay. Those who have become tarred. The first one, Miranda. As the tar clings onto you, your movement is halved and you make attacks with disadvantage. You are discombobulated.
Ah, great, we're fighting
Do we
Sherlock Holmes.
escape said tar?
I'm sorry, what?
How do we become untarred?
You can use an action to clean yourself or another willing creature when it is your turn. Alright. Aeon. You are also discombobulated.
rolling at disadvantage.
Yes. Yolinda. Yolinda is blinded. Alright, everyone else passed. And that will end his turn. Next comes Syl.
A question, Micah. You said that you take 15 damage bludgeoning unless you made the save, then you said you take half, so you round up on that damage, right, or do we round down?
You
so it'd be
round, you round down on it.
So 7.
Yes. All right, Silkway.
She's going to attack it.
Okay.
How far away is it?
Presently, it is 15 feet.
Okay.
At least the snout is.
That's a target.
Yes.
Is it an ally within 5 feet of it?
Not presently.
Can I bring an ally with me?
I mean, if you want to push Aeon forward.
Yeah, because I was about to say, Eon's kind of blocking the tunnel with the shield, so you're going to have to push Eon forward a bit anyways. Unless you're jumping up into the snowstorm above you to get around, but...
She wants to use her new sword.
I mean, Eon's not going to, like, stop her from getting by, so I mean, if she's able to slip past him while he's trying to defend the end of the tunnel, I mean...
How wide is the tunnel?
That's a good question, Micah.
It is
She's
5 foot
7
wide.
feet
You have
tall.
enough room to get through. But
Just
it is
watch
a
the
tight
sharp
space.
corners. Watch the sharp corners of Eon's hips.
You are able to move through an ally's space, as long as there's at least a 5 foot space for them, and it is not difficult for them to fit through.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll stab it. Well, it's the she'll slash at it with the sword. That is a 17 plus 15. 32?
Okay, what type of sword is it?
It's the lightning strike.
Okay. So, of the 32, which part was the lightning?
No, that's the 32 was the attack.
Okay, yes, that hits.
Alright, so... Get down. So with it, so that'd be 7 slashing. No, my bad. It'd be 7 plus 9, so that's 16 slashing. 8 lightning.
Alright.
And she's going to take bonus action disengage to get behind Aeon. And then her turn.
Miranda, it is your turn.
She cleans herself off.
Okay.
Move up. Push the shield down a bit. Cast Hex. Dexterity, I guess.
Okay.
And then move back.
Alright. And it is Yolanda's turn. Alright. As she holds on to Starfall and grips it with one hand, she runs her hand along the flat of the blade, mumbling something, and holds a hand out toward the thing, and it attempts to vanish it. Right. It vanishes for now.
Work on clearing everybody up. The tar.
Alright. As the tunnel itself no longer has the dome behind it, the cold wind is ripping through. I'll need everybody to make a Constitution save, and Soliloquy will make that at disadvantage.
So the first thing I joined into is a Constitution save, huh? Okay.
Got a unnatural 20, brother.
That's a natural 27.
Darwin's sitting at a dirty 20.
Can Miranda shift into hybrid?
18.
Can she still cast in hybrid?
In hybrid form, yes, not in full wolf form.
Okay,
16
yeah.
for
Go to
sure.
hybrid.
Leon's at 26.
And then
Lilith's at 8.
she's got 27.
What did you say Lilith was at?
Lilith only got an 8 for con save.
Miranda's in hybrid and 27.
Alright.
Nobody else knows that. She is still disguising herself.
I don't think most people would care at this point, but
Kale and Elwyn.
Yes.
Go ahead and make your con saves.
18.
Got a nat 20.
All right. Benevolence, what was yours?
Nat 20.
Okay. That's what I thought, just making sure since I didn't have that down.
You're good.
I partially wrote it. All right, so everybody except Lilith passes.
What number was I on the list? You
would be right after Yolanda for initiative.
Okay. So 4, the 4th.
Yes.
I don't know why it's important to me to know when I go. Don't ask me. I'm weird.
Well, you're still technically next in initiative right now because all this is happening within the same turn as cleaning off tar and everything else.
Got it.
All right. 1 second here. Lilith. Will take the same effect as Siliqui, as they are colder, minus 20 max HP, and 1 hit die less on healing herself, and disadvantage on con checks, which also Siliqui has the minus 10 on that, but the disadvantage on con checks and minus 1 hit die and healing. Alright. Yolanda has managed to maintain concentration despite the wind. The tunnel itself still does not yet reach the tower.
Can we kind of see how far the tower is now since the roof is kind of caved in from above?
Well, the roof had caved in further back. The wind basically could dive right into it because it didn't have anything to curve it back up like the dome was. But more or less, you can see some shadow from it, but you can't see the tower proper. Because you're close to where the entrance would be. So you still have the tunnel above you. Aeon could probably climb up and see where it's at, but from the current angle, no. That is, if his perception is high enough. So.
How deep is the snow?
The depth of the snow is about 12 feet thick.
Okay. Hold up. I remember how high Eon can jump. And he
Like
can
I said,
definitely jump.
He should be able to jump up. It's just a matter of, he has to get up to look.
No, I was just saying, like, he knows what direction it is.
Yeah.
So I believe he would be able to just jump. Like, if there's no snow above his head, he could just jump up and see it.
Yeah, he'd take like 2 steps and then he can jump up.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to run into it here in a sec anyways, because we know the rough distance it was, and we've gone about 50 feet now?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think probably like 1 more turn and we should be there.
Okay. So, go ahead and make a perception check.
Who's making a perception check?
Aeon, if he's jumping up.
Okay. Eon is going to be at a dirty 20.
It's like me trying to jump up to see the higher part of the shelf to see what's up there.
Basically, yeah.
Yes. It appears to estimations of how far Darwin is in the tunnel to where the tower seems to be, another 10 feet to go.
Eon's just gonna kind of shout down the tunnel, just 10 feet, continued direction.
Okay. And what is Darwin using to go forward next?
Good question. Tell you what, something else that would get rid of snow. Acid splash. I think. I mean, maybe not. Let's see here.
It's more likely to sink than it is to go forward.
Yep. Darwin's just going to use another second level Scorching Ray just to get all the way through and probably melt a little bit of snow around the tower so they can find the door easier.
Miranda throws Firebolt.
Does Miranda say anything before she throws it?
No, he does his thing and I do mine right after.
Okay. Darwin, how far back are you staying?
From where the ice is melting?
Yes.
I mean, he's not immediately moving forward because he's trying to make sure the roof doesn't cave in afterwards before he starts walking forward. So you'll melt the area in front of him and you'll stay back to do the Ray of Frost thing. Kind of freeze the roof up.
Okay.
However far it goes, he's basically that far back from where the tunnel stops.
All right. You're using Firebolt, Miranda?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first use of it will get it 5 feet forward. And Darwin, as it is going off and you are freezing, go ahead and just make a con save with advantage.
Con with advantage, gotcha. That puts me at a... I can't do math right. 22.
Okay. It does feel, with the sudden burst of fire immediately, and then you're cold because somebody else is doing it before you do your Ray of Frost. For a moment there's a little bit of unsteadiness, but you adapt to it and are able to delay your Ray of Frost, just the same as when you had first done the Firebolt yourself and then the Ray of Frost afterward.
Gotcha.
Just simply because it's somebody else's timing and you're close enough to it that you're being affected a little bit, but it's not enough to throw you off.
Nice little bit of a warm-up. It's a little bit of extra heat.
Okay. All right, and then Miranda, if you're using another Firebolt, then the door will be visible.
Yeah, I'm getting impatient.
All right. And the door is now visible after Darwin uses the Ray of Frost to make the tunnel secure. and it is exposed enough that Darwin can reach it and choose whether to try and open it or knock or whatever.
Can I knock with Eldritch Blast?
I'm going to knock with Thunderclap. Open the door!
It's like,
It's
you
force
damn
damage.
Staying inside there
Thump,
while we're
thump,
fixing this.
thump.
I mean, is the door locked?
That is entirely up to Umbra.
Bro, is it?
Hell yeah, it's locked.
Yeah.
It has wood, steel reinforced frames and everything. No.
Not to think how much that door weigh.
It would be a regular door.
How much does it weigh?
£10,000.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, I was hoping for something that was around, like, 40 pounds or something. No, so Darwin's gonna go ahead and try and open the door and start knocking to get it open.
Umbra, you can hear their attempts.
Does a 22 hit the door?
The 22 does hit the door.
She's upstairs. Is Manel downstairs still?
Well, it's still downstairs, yes. But it is loud enough that she'd be able to hear it.
Incoming police knock.
Be like, ask who it is.
Still hit. So the first knock is 12 force damage. Second knock is 9 force damage, and the third knock is 12 force damage.
Okay.
Police knock.
The door shatters apart, and Linnea, who had been coming to get the door, is glad that she didn't stand directly in front of it as it splinters inwards. As
Is it like
is,
full
it's
on
still,
shattered?
yeah, as it is, it still has some of the wood bounce off of the floor and everywhere where it had split out, and some of the pieces fall into her liquid form, and she just picks them out, like a little bit impatient there.
Ron just kind of like just raises his hands like, look, Abe was the one who was knocking nicely. I don't know who did that. He's facing towards the door so he wouldn't see whoever did it behind him.
Miranda just kind of looks off to the distance, not acknowledging any.
Okay. All right. And at present, everybody is able to make their way inside the tower, as long as Umbra does not try to interfere with that.
No, it's not like that, that other tower thing that prevents people from getting in and
Well, it's not like a
divination
magnificent
spells.
mansion or a dome.
Yeah.
It's just, like I said, you can definitely hear their attempts and then the door. So.
Is it her turn?
yes, we're right now presently rolling through more or less what people are doing, if anybody is stepping in. I'm just simply keeping track of how much people are doing in terms of time-wise toward the countdown on the banishment.
Yun's going to look over his shoulder to see more people starting to move down the tunnel. He's just basically gonna start backing up and just making sure when that thing comes back, he's got his shield towards it. And Lilith's just gonna start trying to move down the tunnel as quick as she can, because freezing cold temperatures are not fun. You certainly weren't ready for them.
Okay. So, as everybody files in, the door itself, with the tunnel in front of it, is enough distance that the wind is still howling, but it is not blowing through the tunnel as strongly, even when it twists and bends down in that direction. It is certainly chilling the tower more than it had been before the door had been taken down, but it is not like you're going to freeze to death as long as somebody can do something to keep it warm for a bit.
Gather the shards of the door into a pile, prestidigitation campfire.
Okay. And as you are inside the tower, the blizzard continues to wail on outside. I don't know exactly what that thing is, but I think we're at least a bit safer here, as long as somebody doesn't try hitting me or anything like that. Anybody have any idea what that was?
Threat.
I think we got that part.
Of attacks indicate pure heat or electrical potential construct.
Anybody got the shatter spell?
Actually, I do, says Lilith. You just so happen to have that right. I am freezing my ass off right now. Can we get a little bit of a fire going, please?
Well, it's gonna be the perfect temperature inside the tower.
Well, good, because she's freezing.
Well, it had been the perfect temperature before the door was rusted down.
Well,
but the
yeah.
fire is able to compensate for that.
Ah.
Miranda made a campfire with the stuff from
Door that
the
you broke.
door that broke on its own.
Yes, absolutely.
Alright.
Okay.
By this point, is everyone back inside, though?
Everybody is inside the tower, yes.
Alright, Eon's just kind of standing with shield towards the door, starting to wipe some of the tar off of him and whatnot.
Alright. As Yolanda is still holding the sword and just running a hand back and forth along its length. Well, I don't entirely know what the thing was or where it's from, but I don't recall encountering anything like that on our way toward Ebonpeak with my sister when we had first made the trek with Linnea and Garnick, and I know we didn't make the entire way there before we ended up in that weird collapsing demiplane, but this close to the valley is not something I would have expected to see.
Has it been more than a minute since it was banished?
Yeah, it has not yet been. That's why she's still just moving her hand back and forth and focusing on it.
Why did she banish it?
Because that's an easy way to get things away from you.
But it'll just come back.
If it's from this plane.
It definitely looks like it's from this plane.
The fire construct in the frozen wasteland?
Yes. Seen them tons
Well,
of
you don't
times.
necessarily
the
know
fire
if it's a
giants
construct
have
or
one.
not, just that its mouth looked like the fire of a dwarven forge in terms of how hot it was.
Right. So, it allows us to better position ourselves defensively, and if it's not from this plane, it doesn't come back.
Wasn't that what the forge was used in Ebonpeak?
For what?
The forge in Ebonpeak. Wasn't that it?
What, the creature?
Yeah.
No. The forge in Ebonpeak doesn't look like this. The fire looks like it's a lot hotter sort of fire in its mouth. That's what I was saying
I
about
remember-
a dwarven forge, where it's...
Oh, it was like the trash compactor that had the fire elemental in there.
Yes.
Okay.
That was...
A long time ago.
a while ago. Yeah, there was a fire elemental that was used underneath Ebonpeak through one of the tunnels. You guys had done the one shot.
Right. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so now what? Wait an hour so Umbra can make a new door, or we book it? Well, it's not going to take an hour to make a new door.
Well, assuming that the construct doesn't come back, we can hole up in here until the storm passes by, because it's extreme freezing outside, and some people are succumbing to the cold.
Well, I don't know if it's native to this plane or not. Just that it's not native to this region. That's sort of the best that I can guess.
Well, we'll find out in
sooner or later,
bit, won't we?
Well, yes, that's true, but wouldn't it be better to, I don't know, prepare in case it does come back?
That's part of defending and better positioning ourselves. And if it doesn't come back, we hole up and wait out the blizzard.
Right.
I guess Umbra's gonna start on that door.
How much does
How
the door
much?
cost?
Yeah. How much does it cost?
Just like
She's
that.
gonna make it
Danny.
out of pure diamond.
Remember,
No.
this isn't Minecraft.
Yeah.
So, as you wait and wait, Yolanda finally moves her hand off the blade, pauses for a moment. Ready, go ahead and make a perception check.
$23. And if I can hear or smell it, 28.
I'm just gonna use. Sorry.
27 for Umbra and 24 for Sil.
Let's see here. We're gonna go with passive for Darwin of 15, passive for Eon of 16, and passive for Lilith of 22. Because it saves time and I don't have to roll as much.
Okay. So, with that, everybody is able to see the glow of light that is coming from the tunnel, which is red.
So,
I want everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
as it yells again. Damn it. Oof. Darwin is at a 6. Ooh. Eon is at a 19.
21.
And Lilith is at a 16.
This passes. And it passes. The nail does not.
$17 Umbra, 10 Sil.
Finnick passes. Kale passes. All right. And that is 39 thunder damage to Sil and Linnea. And everyone else takes half. as it reappears. We'll continue where our initiative left off. Everybody is presently in the tower. Benevolence is willing to stay in the tower instead of rushing off. And we'll hold for if the door pops down. Alright. We'll also hold. Lilith.
So Lilith's turn's up next.
You distorted a little bit. What was that?
So Lilith's turn is up next.
Yes.
She's gonna go ahead and start off with casting a level shatter.
Okay, so are you opening the door, going down the tunnel, and then casting it?
Oh, can we not see it currently still?
Not presently, no. The door has been repaired, and you just saw the glow of the light coming through the tunnel to the door.
The door wasn't repaired. We were asking how much it cost so that we can determine how long it takes her to repair it. Unless someone used mending, but she burnt the wood for the...
Okay, I thought you were using a ability for it when you were saying that, and joking about the diamond.
She can use her Instacraft if it's under 25 GP.
It would be, yes.
Okay, so the door would be repaired then.
Yeah.
Boom. Instacraft.
Yeah, no, a door is not expensive unless you're making out of adamantine or something like that. So.
Well,
60 feet on the shatter spell. How long's the tunnel?
The tunnel is 60 feet long. And it was another about 7 feet past that. So Lilith can certainly move into the tunnel and do it, and then move back.
It's a 10-foot radius, so you don't have to move too far into the tunnel. So you can like duck in, duck out.
Yeah, that's what Lilith will end up doing. She'll go ahead. She'll basically duck into the tunnel far enough to fire off a 3rd level shatter at it.
Okay.
Which is a con 16 save, and if it is a creature made of inorganic material such as stone, crystal, metal, it has disadvantage on the 16 con saving throw.
That is a 25.
Ooh, so it is not made of stone, metal, or inorganic material.
That or its con is stupid high.
Yeah. But she's gonna come back in then and go ahead and use I'm trying to think here.
No, I mean it still takes half damage on a fail.
Oh yeah, it does take half damage, don't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
I'm having a stroke. Alright. That is 48, and I'm just gonna roll that through D&D Beyond here.
Is one side of your face getting stiff while the other half isn't?
Possibly, I can't tell. That is half of 19.
Okay. Okay.
And then we're gonna follow that up with I could do something really simple here. Kind of simple here. We're gonna use the cantrip of guidance on Miranda. So basically adding a D4 to one ability check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I don't know what else to do with from there.
It's ability check, attack roll, or save, right?
Yeah. You roll a D4 and you can roll the die before or after making the ability check. Lowest turn there.
Yeah, it's just for an ability check, not for a attack or save. That'd be
Actually, hold up. I'm a fucking bard. I'm gonna just give
inspiration.
Yeah, I'm just give bardic inspiration.
What's your inspiration die right now?
A 1d8.
Okay. I feel inspired.
Inspiration is probably go kill that thing.
I know. It's like I saw how fast you could fly the other night. Let's see how hard you can fight.
All right. Then it would be Anne's turn. Because of
Alrighty.
course, Meryl has all 4 turns in a row.
Yeah, that's. All right. Let's see what we've got. The Tachyon arrow is still on recharge, so we're not going to do anything with that. Tell you what. I'll tell you what we can do. Ooh, wait, hold up. Oh, no, never mind. I'm a dumbass. God. Taking a bit of damage. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start off with using Jan's reanimation protocol to go ahead and get some health back. So that's going to be 3d6 plus base con bonus. Somewhere multiple 3d6. There they are. And that's going to be 3d6 plus 3, which, so that's 16 health back on that. And then we'll follow it up with a bonus action to up a charge on the Resurrection Orb. There's no other constructs with our party currently, right?
think so.
Okay. So then he's just going to target himself with it and gain another 2d6 health back. Which gives him another 6 health back.
Okay. If that ends his turn, then it'll be Darwin's turn for the first one.
Alright, Darwin's just gonna kind of look at everyone who's around, see who's the most injured, and start getting some heals going here real quick. So who is the most injured at the moment? I know Lilith's taken a beating, and I think it was Syl who also got hit quite a bit.
Lilith, Syl, and Linnea each have taken a fair beating.
Okay.
And
Darwin's
Umbra.
Umbra's upstairs still, ain't she, or is she?
Oh,
She's downstairs.
Oh. Hold up. I'll tell you what, this sounds like a good point for Mass Cure Wounds, so we'll go ahead and use that then. Location of Vitality on that one as well. To get that extra little bit and bobble topped up on there. As soon as I can find what the actual amount gives is. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and start off then with the Mass Cure Wounds. Target Syl, Lilith, Linnea, Umbra, I don't remember. Did Benevolence take any damage?
I mean, everybody took some from the roars.
Okay, so we'll probably go for Benevolence then. And I keep on forgetting, can healing spells still heal a living construct?
Typically they will say so in the spell if it doesn't affect a construct or an undead.
Okay.
You said Mass
let me
Cure
see
Wounds
here.
is what you're using?
Use up to 6 creatures. Spell has no effect on undead or constructs. Okay, so that would leave then Yolinda probably is the last one.
Okay.
Alright, and then in terms of health back, that's going to be 3d8 plus 4 plus 2d6. Oh shit, I dropped one. Okay, so that is 19 plus 8, so 27 health. As individuals.
Okay.
And he's going to follow that up with a bonus action of Healing Word, first level on Syl. So 1d4 plus 4. So 7 back to Syl on that one.
Okay.
And then he's using the time skip ability. I'm forgetting the names of things tonight. The time skip ability, so he's gonna go ahead and just do thing. Is the general hope.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
General.
Ooh, I'll tell you what. So, hold on, was that thing technically attacking with lightning or thunder damage?
The roar was thunder.
Sides of fire. Roar was thunder.
Thunder.
Okay. Hmm. I'm trying to think here. Shit, I did not come prepared for this. All right, so he's going to go ahead and do kind of a similar thing Lilith did with peeking down the hallway to fire off some damaging attacks. He's going to start off by firing a 3rd level fireball down the hallway at it, which is a Dex 17 saving throw.
It has disadvantage on dex saves right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. All right.
That is a 10.
All right, so that is 8d6 of fire damage. I really want to roll these manually because that's really fun. There's 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alrighty, and so we are sitting at 24 damage with that fireball.
Okay.
And then we can follow that up by being a cheeky git, using a 2nd level catapult on it with one of the arrows from Darwin's, or one of the bolts from Darwin's quiver. Then after that, he's going to run back inside. And that's another Dex 17 saving throw.
That is a 7.
Alrighty. So that's going to be 48 coming his way. There's going to be another 14 damage. I'm now realizing the interesting gimmick of being both a bard and a sorcerer, because I'm both damage and healing, and it is the weirdest feeling in the world.
I mean, a bard can do damage. It just depends on your spell assortment you choose.
Yeah, true.
So, as you do these things, the fire seems to hit the tar on its form and flare it up, seeming to catch fire and shake its fur a bit and breathe in before you hit it with the bolt, and it sucks it into itself. And there's this sound of it almost chortling a bit before it and it coughs up this black sticky mess on the ground in front of it that is not like the tar bomb it had launched before, but something that is squirming inside of some kind of sack of some kind.
Note to self: don't use fire damage on it.
Shit. Alright, I'm going full healer for the rest of this combat.
Alright, then that is Kale's turn.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Ah, that's a little better. Yes.
Alright.
Still a little low, but I maxed out your volume once I finally heard you.
You can turn it down. I might put it in. Okay. I'm going to I'm gonna keep some stuff back. I'm just gonna freaking Eldritch Blast its face.
Okay.
Oh my god. That's a 12, a 9, and a 25 to hit.
Alright, the 29 hits.
That's 5 damage, Vice. That's 5 damage.
Every little bit helps. Unless it's fire.
No, it's just Eldritch Blast.
Anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna... Hang on, I gotta look at my curses real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna Blood Curse of Bloated Agony. The creature has disadvantage on Strength and Dexterity ability checks, and it takes 1d8 necrotic damage if it makes more than a single melee or ranged attack during its turn. I'm going to take 1d8 damage to amplify it, making it last a full minute. Take 3 damage.
What was the part right before the D8? After the strength and dex checks?
So it takes 1d8 of necrotic damage.
1d8 necrotic.
If it makes more than a single melee or ranged attack during its turn. It needs to make a Constitution saving throw at the end of its to resist it.
Alright. Thank you. Alright. And after you do that, the sword in your hand you can feel is pulsing strongly toward the direction that Castle Ebonpeak is assumed to be in. But there's also this shaking vibration and shadow swirling around it that also twists it slightly toward this creature.
Okay. How far away from it am I?
Well, unless you've moved back into the tower, you would have moved close enough to get a shot at it with the Eldritch Blast and your blood curse.
120. So.
Right. You just had to move, partially into the tunnel just to get a shot, just because of the curve.
Would I be able to get with melee range of it in 35 feet?
The tunnel is 60 feet long, so you would not be able to this turn.
I won't at distance. For now. I guess that's it.
Okay. Alright, then that will go to Fennec. He's not able to hit it with her attacks. Umbra, it is your turn.
Would she be able to see it from inside where she is?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
That is a 25.
Yes, she can see it. It is a blazing, huge fire in the middle of the snowfield outside your tower.
How far away is it?
At present, it is from your height. You're on the 3rd floor presently?
There's only 2 floors.
So, then yeah, you'd be... You're going to be about 75, 80 feet.
What?
Well,
That's,
it is, 70 feet through the tunnel, and then you're at elevation, so...
She can... Wow. They went 70 feet that fast? That's nice.
Well, you're out and down.
Well, no, she's actually up and looking down at it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the trajectory is out and down.
Yeah, versus they're at
Hypotenuse.
ground level, so it's just a straight shot.
Yeah. 67 feet from the entrance of the door.
Yeah. The hypotenuse is still shorter than going both angles down and out, but it's still longer than either. Geometry! Yay!
She's gonna use a bonus action to switch the cold damage on her revolver to fire damage. And shoot it. Where? Hey, nat 20!
Okay.
That. Excuse me. Hmm. $29 fire damage.
Okay. As the fire damage hits it, see as its form flares up, and then it breathes in, swallows it into itself.
Did we not observe this thing absorbing the last fire attack?
Oh shit!
Umbra did not.
Said fire, right? Oh fuck.
Umbra was higher up, and it was fired through the tunnel, and she did not know what was that did that. So, in character, it does make sense for her confusion.
I was looking at my shotgun. It was fire, and I wanted to switch to cold. Yeah, never mind.
Well, you said cold to fire, so...
Yeah. Anyways, next time.
Alright, anything else that she's doing?
Nope.
Okay. Elwyn, it is your turn.
Yes. What am I doing?
Where am I? Who am I? Where?
Just say ribbit for everyone.
Not yet.
At least you're paying that much attention. All right. So, the party is in the tower that Umber had made. And Umber is up on the second floor. Everybody else is down on the first floor, which is right now buried underneath the snow. But there is a tunnel out the door toward where the party had also previously made a magic dome. This huge monstrosity of fire and tar and flesh, whatever this thing is that's out there, is at the end of a tunnel that is 60 feet long, and it is a little distance past that, about 70 feet out the door.
So there's a giant monster outside the door.
Yes.
Alright, sounds good enough to me.
There's about 12 feet of snow above the tunnel, and there's a heavy blizzard outside.
And this is a tar monster?
Tar and fire and flesh.
Tar, fire, flesh. 12 feet of snow above it.
Above the tunnel. There's a hole where the dome had been, that, when it collapsed inward after it was no longer maintained. And it is basically standing in that pit area.
Okay, let's see.
Rooting around and hunting. And there is also, after it got hit with fire damage for the first time, some wriggling sack on the ground that it had hacked up.
Interesting. Tar monster on fire. Is there some way I can knock all the snow down onto it?
Well, where it's standing, there isn't snow on it. It's standing where the dome had been, and then it got covered up kind of like an igloo by the snow that kept falling down.
Oh, okay.
But when everybody moved out of there and it got close, its heat caused it to start melting, and that collapsed. The tunnel they made was reinforced by Ray of Frost, whereas the dome hadn't been. Well, more than one turn, versus the tunnel being reinforced multiple times.
Okay, now if I remember, I have a cold charge on that ring, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Fire, cold, acid, and lightning, I believe is what you have.
Yeah. So I am going to shoot 2 arrows at it. One of them I'm going to use the cold charge for it.
Okay.
Alright. 26 and 24.
Okay, both hit.
Alright. Now, give me a moment while I roll for all the damage. Yada yada yada. It's my dice. There it is. First arrow, 37 plus 4 radiant damage. And then the second arrow, which has a cold charge on it. Oh, it was below max HP already, right?
Yes.
Just mark 2. Plus the ring. That will be 78 damage plus 2 radiant damage.
Okay. Is the 78 from both arrows, both the cold charge and the piercing, or is that
That is the second arrow is the cold charge, and the normal arrow.
Okay, how much was the normal arrow part?
The normal was 38. I added the hunter's mark onto that too, so whatever it's called.
Okay. All right. And then, are you ending your turn?
How far away is it from me?
Presently 70 feet.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do.
Okay. And as you watch the wriggling sack on the snow before Olarath, the fowl, starts to rip and tear open from the inside, and out emerges Zondell.
It is a 7-foot tall tigerkin with wings.
Shoot it with fire.
I have that.
That just roars in anger. Before flanking it and shoving it over.
Okay. You remember on your path through the snowfields, traveling, as this foul thing had managed to move up on you out of some dark cavern and flare up in fire and swallow you. And as you take your attack on it, go ahead and roll.
That's a 43 athletics to shove it over.
Okay.
Just give it a light push and it just flies into the wall.
I'm pushing it towards the tower and the tunnel.
Right. So you still would roll to hit.
Nope.
Unless it's a specific feature.
Nope. It is
No.
an athletics. I am shoving it. It has to make a contested athletics or dexterity against mine.
This got interesting.
So, shoving a creature. Using the attack action, you can make a special melee attack to shove a creature, either to knock it prone or push it away from you.
Yep, and I'm knocking it prone. It is my athletics versus his athletics.
Contested by its strength. Okay. Okay.
So it can either
There it
use
is.
dex or acrobatics or
Yep,
athletics.
that's fine. Just some of the other classes that have used shoving have used separate from this rule, so that's why I just had to double check.
Yeah, like the fighter one where the shove on the battlemaster, you gotta actually hit it to do the shove, and it's a DC.
Right, and this is hitting, but you get the extra from athletics.
Yeah, I don't actually do any damage, but it falls over.
Yeah. All right. So strength, athletics, or dexterity.
It's choice,
Yes.
but it has to beat a 43.
And right now, it has disadvantage on both. falls over.
And it gets
As
up and
you
eats your face.
shove it over, some of its tar is on you, and you take 10 acid damage from it.
Sure.
It's part of the feature.
Wait, is that thing covered in black pudding?
It is not covered in anything in particular, but it does have some unusual characteristics. Torque, is there anything else that you are doing for your turn?
Yes. I'm gonna haymaker the motherfucker. I'm gonna kind of walk up to the flank portion of it.
Actually,
And
one moment.
How
No,
tall is
because of the fire attack, the tar armor would not affect you, so you can negate that acid.
oh, lovely. Yeah. So I go. How tall is it?
It is huge. 1 second here. "15 feet tall."
Oh, I walk to its head then. And a haymaker. His head. Bonus action. Hex. He is now my favored foe. Hunter's mark, rather. He is my favorite foe, and I'm going to haymaker. And since it is prone in front of me, and that's disadvantage is a straight roll.
Okay.
Does a 26 hit?
That does hit.
So that is 6, 12, 20, 34 damage. 6 of which is force. And I'm going to action surge.
And the rest is bludgeoning, correct?
Yes, magical bludgeoning. Um, 27.
That hits.
Same amount of damage. And I crit. At 20. So that would be 12, 24, plus 16 is 40, 54. 12 of which is force, the rest is magical bludgeoning. And that's the rest of his turn.
Okay. As this figure emerges from the tar,
Let me know when he casts
pushes
the
it
spell.
over and starts wailing on its head. There is this dark red, almost black blood that comes out of it that hisses on the snow as it starts bleeding out. It is still breathing, and it is going to rise up with half its movement. Well, it doesn't have more than one foe it can see. So it is going to multi-attack, not knowing what has been put onto it as far as the blood curse. So, 1 second. .1d8 necrotic. Is that per attack, or is that just at its turn?
It doesn't specify. It says 1d8 if it makes more than one.
Okay,
So
so
I
then
don't
it
know
is
if
just per turn then.
Okay. That's
Alright, if you want to roll the 1d8.
okay. D&D Beyond has blessed me with an 8.
Alright. As it starts lashing out, there's just this body already black and red has these pulses into its flesh that look like rot forming and sinking in partially.
It's
still,
flat-footed right now, isn't it?
It used half its movement to stand.
After it stands, does it attack with disadvantage?
Not while it's not prone anymore. It only has disadvantage while it remains prone. If it chooses not to stand up.
Okay.
Alright, and it is going to multi-attack at Torque. That is a 19 to hit with its bite attack.
Miss.
Miss. That is a 21 to hit with its first claw.
Miss.
Oops, that one fell off the thing. 1 second here. And 25 to hit with its other claw.
Miss.
Alright. This thing which attacked and ambushed you before, angry at being so full of the fire that vitalizes it and forced to vomit up its lunch, is not happy that its lunch has knocked it on its side and then avoided its attacks. And it will end its turn and become Silkwee's turn. You can see it breathing in and out, angry.
Did she see this striped fella deck the hell out of this thing?
I mean, it depends on if you were paying attention or turned away after doing your attacks, I suppose. Go ahead and make a perception check with advantage, because he's still down by it.
That is a 29.
Yeah, you definitely saw it.
Awesome. So she's gonna go up to it. Wave to the striped guy. And slash the hell out of this thing.
Micah, if it casts any spells, let me know, and it has disadvantage on any concentration when I hit it.
Okay.
Because I get to deck him with a reaction if he does.
If it's a +3 weapon, it should be 10, not 9 damage. Alright, that is a 22.
Okay, that hits.
Sweet. So that is 2, 9, d6. That is 44 magical slashing and 7 lightning damage.
Okay.
And action surge. That is a 28 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
22 magical slashing, 5 lightning.
How do you want to do this?
She's just gonna decapitate this thing. The first one, first slash cuts through half of it, and then the next slash cuts through the rest of it.
Okay.
And she's just gonna, pose in front of the tiger dude and say, "Sup?"
I reach in, grab its heart, pull it out, and eat it, as well as its liver.
Metal.
I don't know what you're expecting. It's a tiger man. Of course he's gonna do that. It's like coming from a mile away.
Torque. Now that it has had its
Con
turn,
save.
you are going to take 9 acid damage from the attempt.
Sure.
All right, and then I'm going to have you make a, I'll say medicine or nature check to try and find the heart and liver.
Okay. And or both?
And or.
22 nature.
Okay. You find a gnarled mess of organs that are covered in this mass of flesh and fungal matter and vines wrapped around themselves. This slime sticking to it, and the organs that you rip through give way as you pull these out and start to consume them.
You give that description, all of a sudden I don't want to eat it.
Well, you chose to pull it out before asking. You can choose to examine it upon pulling it out, though.
Sure. At the disgustingness, I'll second guess myself. What am I doing?
Try not to die from those organs you're eating.
Well, yes. Investigation, nature, survival.
I mean, if you're choosing not to eat it, you're just choosing not to eat it.
Oh no,
what do you-
I'm choosing to see if it would adversely harm me if I ate it.
Okay. Yes, you didn't state that, so that's why I was like, what are you asking? I would say a survival or medicine check would probably tell you if you think that there'll be any issue with it.
28. Survival. If it's not going to give me fungus and intestinal worms, I'll eat it.
So, from looking at it and trying to examine it and things, you figure it's going to burn a bit going down. It's probably going to burn a bit going out the other end, give you a bit of the runs. But you're fairly certain that as long as you survive it, you'll probably also get some pretty interesting hallucinations.
This is spicy meatball. Ow.
Okay. So you're going to eat it then?
Yes.
Okay, con save at disadvantage.
Yep.
Become frog like me.
16.
You take 11 acid damage as it goes down.
Okay.
20 poison.
Okay.
And everything that you see around you, every thing is edges and lines, except for Syl and the body of this thing. Syl, you see this figure, a shape, silhouette, and lines of black and gray surrounding them. This creature you see twisted up lines interwoven together, almost all of them, black and purple and red and sickly green, and just tied up in knots together around it and through it.
Loot the body.
Okay. Go ahead and make a survival check.
You're going to do what?
He is looting the corpse.
26.
Hold on there, Tiger Boy. I killed it. You already got the heart and your little snack. Everything else is ours.
Die, don't stop.
take another 14 acid damage. But you are able to, rooting around, find 5 tar bombs that can be lobbed.
Okay. Got stats on that?
I do. One moment. You would treat this as a improvised weapon.
Hey, I'm proficient with those.
It can be thrown up to 60 feet at most. All creatures within a 10-foot radius must succeed on a DC 18 dexterity saving throw or take 3d10 bludgeoning and 3d10 acid damage or become tarred. On successful save, the creature takes half damage and is not tarred.
It's acid and what?
Bludgeoning and acid. Alright, and when a creature becomes tarred, a d6 is rolled to determine which effect is applied to it. The effect lasts until the tar is removed. A creature may use an action to clean itself or another willing creature within reach of the tar. Number 1, blinded. The creature becomes blinded. Number 2, hobbled. All damage dealt by the creature is halved. 3, discombobulated. The creature's movement is halved and it makes attacks with disadvantage. 4, stuck. The creature's movement becomes 0. 5, slowed. The creature cannot take reactions and can take an action or a bonus action, but not both. 6, sickened. The creature ingests the tar and becomes poisoned for the next minute. Those are the effects of the tar bombs.
Definitely saving those.
You are also able to take off three handfuls of the tar armor.
And what is that?
A creature that touches it or is hit a melee attack with it while within 5 feet takes 3 to 6 acid damage.
Is it able to be worn?
You'd have to apply it
Safely?
to something that is resistant to acid or immune to it, but potentially. You also
Said-
can just simply apply it to something like a sword that won't be affected by acid damage and smack something, and then they'll take the acid damage.
And how much was it again?
3 handfuls.
No, the acid damage.
3d6.
I'm sure Umber could make something out of that.
You haven't even met her.
Nope, but
So,
there's a possibility there.
all the tar is extremely combustible and will explode when it becomes in contact with an open flame. If a creature is tarred and takes fire damage, that creature takes 12d8 fire damage, ignoring resistance, and the tar is removed. It is a good thing he did not get a chance to breathe the fire on you all when you were tarred.
Oh, and I have the firebolt cantrip. I'm so happy.
I rolled to see whether or not she would do that or just try to attack it. And it's like, she's got her spell spots back, so she's kind of... We've just dealt with so much shit in the Shimmer, I don't want to put up with this. So I'm like, would she really think that? Yes. Douche dice she did. Of course, nobody like set up any traps or anything, but, you know, it didn't have a massive amount of HP, just a lot of resistances. It had the ability to breathe fire up to 30 feet long and 5 feet wide, which would deal its own damage, and then on top of that, it would instead, if they're tarred, deal that amount of damage.
Yeah, just send me all that. And I offer, walk over and offer the liver to Umbra, who's in front of me.
Okay. Sill's in front of you right now, so you can...
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
it was Umbra in front of me.
Umbra's in the house shooting from the window.
Oh, I thought she came down.
No, where's Sill?
Okay, I offer the the liver to Sill.
Thanks. What's your name?
Torque.
Nice and simple. I'm Sill. Well, it was nice meeting you, and she'll just walk off, dragging the head of the thing with her. Back to the tower.
I'll follow.
Sill's just gonna be like, look what I got, and point to the head.
We'll just kind of nod, just kind of making way so everyone can get inside here. If
Oh, and this guy, I have followed me for some reason. Can I keep him?
Dar's just gonna like chuckle awkwardly and be like, I mean, it's not the weirdest thing you've picked up.
That is true.
Torque, as you are looking around at different people, you can see just these lines of gray and white coming off of Darwin. And these gray lines that are coming off of Kale. And these black lines twisting and wrapping around Kale's sword.
I examined Kale's sword.
Well, I'm sorry. I'll pull it back.
I walk around and I examine it. I'm just looking at it. I'm not trying to take it from you yet.
You can look, but you can't touch.
I squat down, so I'm probably like his height now.
Okay.
Or extend it out flat, horizontal. So
I examine it.
Okay. Make an Arcana check.
Ha 4.
Oh. Is it a sword?
What's that, a -2?
No, I got a +1 for.
You don't
Oh,
think it would actually be
wow.
battle line.
Okay.
Yep, that's a sword.
Yep.
So,
Why is it so dark?
It's a good question.
it definitely seems like there's still a bit of smoke and shadow around and within the blade, as it, now that the monstrosity is no longer alive outside, it bends slightly in the direction of where you all were headed toward Castle Ebonpeak.
It seems my blade desires to be at Castle Ebonpeak.
Smoking that way.
As you look around at the others, you can see gray lines on Aeon, save one line that twists and sweeps, spiraling around Lilith, a human. And there are a mixture of gray lines, but mostly white, around her. Yolinda, as you...
I'll go
glance
over to
at
her and I'll squint her and say, almost pure.
Well, if I didn't make as many bad jokes about people's mothers, I'd probably be a lot more pure.
Said Yolinda, what now?
Thank you.
Second. Around Yolinda, as you look in her direction, there are swirling mass, not just simply of black or white or gray, but of multiple strands of color, which throughout this hallucination you have seen nothing more vivid than before in color, as is spiraling in and out of and through the sword that she is holding. It almost hurts to look at. And around her, there are bits that are gray surrounding most of her, interwoven bands of white, a couple bands of black here and there, and a knotted up mass that appears to be just over her shoulder, of almost solid black with lines of gray weaving through it.
Lady with the powerful sword. Who's the demon on your shoulder?
I don't know quite what you mean. I mean, I am a succubus, so...
You don't have somebody feeding you ideas. You have quite the negative energy sitting on your shoulder.
That's unusual. She
Is it?
kind of looks over her head and starts to move away from where she had been standing, trying to figure out what you're looking at. The knotted up mess does not move with her.
I cock my head at it.
As you cock your head, looking straight at it, it vanishes.
Should have punched it. punched it right in its invisible gob.
Is it back on her shoulder?
It is not.
Someone's spying on you, girly.
That's good to know.
Also, way bit creepy, if you don't mind me saying.
Well, yes, but the fact that we're being spied on and know that we're being spied on is better than not knowing it.
Also true.
You didn't happen to catch a glimpse of anything other than just something there, did you?
I explained my trip.
Okay.
Beastie over there has got some spicy innards.
That's not something I've ever really heard of before, but I suppose I wasn't exactly raised and trained for whatever the hell that thing is.
I took almost 60 damage just trying to eat that thing.
Well, it did reward you with something interesting.
It's a spicy meatball.
We have quite a few different foes. I'm not entirely certain who might have been spying, or how long they've been spying, or if they've been following us while spying, or just this one time.
Somebody black of heart.
Well, unfortunately, that doesn't narrow it down a lot.
I'm just gonna be like, hey, wait, so how did you see that something was there just now?
The creature's got some spicy innards. Helps you see things. Apparently.
Huh. You see anything else around the room? Who knows? Maybe it's it'd still be around here somewhere.
No, it vanished. There's nothing around here. Not directly. If you want to try it yourself, there's some organs left in there.
Question is, can a living construct eat? I don't think he'd gain any benefit from eating. Probably not.
Okay. As you continue looking around, its effects still present. Fennec has mostly gray and white lines, with a few black intermixed. Benevolence is mostly white, with a few gray.
Someone's been corrupting this one.
There's quite a few things in the Frostheart that are loose trying to corrupt it. In fact, we were heading toward at least two of them if they're still where we knew that they were. Siliqui is mostly dark, with a few thin bands of white and interspersed gray.
Sniff at her. Not totally evil.
She is totally evil.
You got a few thin brands of white. You're not totally evil.
There are certain things that are still things that still has its standards and such. Certain individuals that they have ties to.
Oh yeah, she's not completely evil.
Yes. It's not necessarily good and evil so much as, willingness to do something for somebody for their good, whether it's, you're evil, but you like a particular person that you take care of, or whatever.
Oh, you mean like her best friend in the world?
Like her friends, like her
Friend. She only has one friend.
no, I was gonna say Dare, and Jesse, and even a little tiny bit for Buster.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah. Linnell is mostly just gray.
Linnell is what?
Mostly just gray. Miranda, I'm sure you can state what she is.
Black and gray.
Umbra and Syl do have a few strands that are linked between them. Just as Umbra and Linnell have a few that are linked. And the others have some here and there, though they are of varying different lengths and thicknesses.
So Syl's just gonna go over to what's her face? Umbra. Her 10 platinum and point to the decapitated head and ask her to stuff it.
What brings you all to these parts? Scare them away.
Yeah. We are here to do some business.
To do some business?
Yes.
What sort of business?
Sort of business you don't want to be tangled up in.
I'm always interested. Challenge.
What? Why are you here?
That piece of shit snuck up on me while I was sleeping. Next thing I know, it got vomited up right here.
As you look around, you also see a figure that is just propped up on the floor against one of the walls. There is no sign of any breathing, pale skin, and no bands whatsoever in or around it.
It's with the dead fella.
Long story.
I go over and I start sniffing and inspecting him.
You can definitely see the vampire fangs just slightly lifting up the lip just a bit. That's
Do I
my
recognize him at all?
brother-in-law. Yes.
And who is he to me?
Well, he had been Count Strahd. You had heard announcements recently that he had been married, and that he and his wife had taken up the title of Duke and Duchess of the Valley. That is about 18-20 miles south of where you're at.
So they're actively living in that spot.
As far as you are aware, yes. That is what the latest news that you've heard of is.
Are you sure you're not assassins here to claim a bounty?
He's my brother-in-law. And we were in the Shimmer, and he and my friends rescued me. It's a long story, but the pact devil took his soul.
Darren? What was his name? I forgot what his name was.
Dantalion.
Dantalion.
Dandelion.
Yes.
Long story short, a long time ago he split off part of himself with an experiment. That piece remained in the Shimmer. And I don't know if he knew it was still there or not, but when I went there, he captured me, tortured me, and then when he got free, he switched bodies with my brother-in-law. And then the pact devil took his soul out of his other half's body. This is not the Strahd that's been in the Frostheart for centuries. This is the Alchemist, another version of him that didn't go through the same life.
So there's an imposter ruling the hills here.
Well, they're in the correct body, it's just the wrong soul.
So, you want to explain to me... Ask them where they're headed.
Well, as we said before, toward Castle Ebonpeak. That was Strahd's original castle. It's where his library was. The only problem is that there were two forces that had laid siege and were corrupting people in the castle, which is why I was leaving when a third had shown up.
Do you know anything about this, Micah?
To the best of your knowledge, Strahd had brought his people with him to the valley because it would be more prosperous than the area where they had been, where it was a smaller valley. His knowledge of magic and other things could help the larger valley flourish more than if they had stayed where they were. There's been no word of anything wrong.
I haven't heard any of this. And you're heading the wrong direction if you're trying to get back to him. So you want to try your story again?
We need to get to his library with all of his magic books. even in his body, I don't think that his other part would have known where he might have hidden some things that could help us try to get him back into his body.
I guess I'll keep an eye on you, make sure you are what you say you are.
Well, time will tell, I suppose. If you can survive being in that thing's stomach and at least we're able to give us some information, and such I suppose is, I don't object to you joining along with us. Anyone else?
We're going to the library still?
Wolf, that barely came in.
I said we're still going to the library, right?
That was the present plan, unless you all think that we should change that, but I don't think without that information that we can get our Strahd back into his body.
Yeah. And the machine that did it is back in that other place.
Right.
It's probably destroyed.
Well, it was certainly being overrun, so if it wasn't, then I don't know why they would have destroyed it.
Miranda's like, well, they're having a little problem when I came back. The thing that came with us was murdering a bunch of people. Like, a bunch of people.
What thing came with us?
The thing that I had described to you all, I showed you. That you saw that was heading towards the town.
The moon beast?
Yeah. It was ripping all the way through those guys.
Yes, well, yet another thing ran loose on Avon that we've been in. At least the Trasks are not here. Neither is that great one.
Torque feels more excited about being in this party now. Sounds like y'all are having too much fun.
Oh yeah, all the fun. No fun for you.
Honestly, if I'd known it would be this kind of fun, I would have probably insisted my sister just find a different route to Castle Ebonpeak. I don't even know how long it's been since we ended up coming back to the Frostheart after meeting some of you. It's certainly been a while. I know when Deathhold, it was almost a year something else, something odd.
What year is this, Torque?
I give him the year.
From what Torque says, it is still the same year that you left.
Okay.
From further prodding, it is only 4 days from when you had left.
What? Huh. I wish it was been more time. They got married sooner. Oh no. It was... Okay.
How long ago did they move into the valley which my deputy parents had previously?
Group that information.
Best of your knowledge, it's been about 6 months.
Uh-oh. Did they come into an alternate timeline? How long was the marriage ago?
Best knowledge of the marriage has been 1 year.
So I let them know that they got married a year ago. They moved out here 6 months ago.
I fucking hate portals.
And with that wonderful quote, we will end things off for the night.